Close the door.
Okay.
No, they got it. They good. They closed it.
You don't know that.
I do. You know how many spiders live in that?
Mm-hmm. It fell.
Just leave it. Oh my god.
Good lord.
Continue. I'm right here.
Lacrimosa, 84.
Oh yeah, I know that.
Longtime fan.
Yeah.
Great person. What scene was your favorite? And we discussed the hardest to film, I think. Or did we yet? Not on this.
No.
What scene was your favorite and which was the hardest to film?
Okay.
So two-parter. Favorite and hardest.
Somebody else take it first because I'm not.
Well,
There you go.
Evan,
The
you want
hardest?
to answer the hardest?
The hardest to film, for me at least, and I believe it was for all of us involved, was
Different reasons, but yeah.
for different reasons was the for different reasons was
Because we were cozy.
Yeah, I was in a flannel.
was the rake scene, the scene with me covered in clay.
The Jim Thorpe.
Which it was Evan,
The
by
Jim
the way.
Thorpe.
Oh,
That
yeah,
was
that
me.
was Evan.
That was
The
Evan.
rake was Evan.
Evan in his underwear in fucking December.
He
or
had.
November
He's
or
acting like
something.
he didn't have
That
any
was
protection. We
in the
gave him
Poconos.
swim goggles.
Protection.
With swim goggles on my eyes. That's why the eyes look bug-eyed. And which, by the way, I could not see out of.
Okay, you put the goggles on, then we put clay on them, and then we put black paint.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like you smeared the clay over top of the, and then we like scribbled it out,
Yep.
and then they did something.
You
that
put
made
black
it,
paint.
Is that what you
Yes,
did?
we literally put
All right,
that
it made
black
it way
paint on.
fucking harder to
You
see.
needed eyes.
Yeah.
So I couldn't fucking see.
Yeah.
I was,
was
in
the-
my boxers.
Did you mention that it was the middle of a Pocono winter?
Yeah, it was in the
Okay.
middle of the Poconos in
I
December
think
or
you
November,
literally
something
can
like that.
see a little bit of snow on the ground,
Yes.
but
It started to snow at
started
the end.
snowing.
That's
It started
right,
snowing
yeah.
at the
It
end.
started snowing.
They covered me in water because the clay had to be soaked in water. Covered me in this wet fucking clay, which at first was warm and then very quickly got very
Yes.
cold.
as we stepped
I was
into it.
completely naked except for some underwear, and I went out and there was all the way to the backyard. There was a long walkway of stones.
Yes.
It was like gravel that I was like, ow,
was red
fuck,
stones,
ow,
yeah.
ow, fuck. And we got to the backyard. We had to do a good couple of takes. My body was like shaking uncontrollably at one point, and then stopped. And then I no longer really felt anything.
And he
then
was
walking,
hungry.
I saw a
walking over-
distant
what?
light.
And he was hungry.
Oh my god, I
You
was
were
starving.
hungry.
And I walking back over the stones was like just numbness. I didn't feel them at all. And that was something I distinctly remember. I could not feel my toes. My fingers were becoming a little useless, and because I was wet, and I think that's what killed
Yes.
it. And I still had kind of longish hair, so it was just soaked in there.
Yep.
And so that was hard, but still fun, but still brutal.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, after I got to shower it all off, and then you guys made me ramen, which was great.
Yeah.
So I came out and like wrapped up and ate
So
ramen.
that was the
But-
day after the best night ever.
Yes.
So you
Yes.
didn't reap any of the
Best night
benefits of
ever.
No,
best
none of the
night
best
ever.
nights ever
No.
for me, and then I just had to come and get naked, get
You gotta
covered in
wake up
water.
early and drive up to
Yeah.
the mountains.
And the reason.
So-
oh, God.
The reason that it was the hardest. Well, do you guys
Yeah, I
want
was
to cover?
just I was gonna say the reason it was hardest for the rest of us, and it was also still hard for
Oh,
you.
I
in
was
this
still
aspect.
involved in this portion. Yeah.
You said spring, right? The spring before.
At least a year.
Okay.
Yeah, prep.
So at least a year of prep here. Was it you who saw the video originally?
Yes.
Evan
it was on
saw-
full on lovemaking, which is a video on
Yes, it is
YouTube.
classic.
Please look up full on lovemaking. It should
If
be
you haven't-
the
if you
image
haven't
of a
already.
face being ripped in half. Watch it.
Yeah.
And it is a beautiful music video to the song Mr. Sandman.
Mr. Sandman, it's like
And
house
it was
remix of it.
it was a video I found, and I made it an initiation video to anybody who wanted to join the Facebook group. If you guys remember, they
Yeah,
had
the
to watch
Christmas
full on
group.
lovemaking, and they had to enjoy it. They
I
had to
remember
love
that.
it.
The Tiny
And
Jack
in it,
days.
you'll see a guy who's like and covered in clay. You can find his work on
Yeah,
YouTube
I can't
too.
remember
He's like
name.
a French
And
artist,
He's
right?
Yeah, he's a
he's
bizarre.
very famous. at
But
this point.
he covers himself in this shit and then like starts fucking with it.
Ooh, was
With-
he the one that was the body
Candle
actor for
Cove.
the Candle Cove Chief
Yeah.
guy? Yeah.
He was in Channel Zero. But yeah, so we saw Evan saw that in Full on Lovemaking.
Too.
Good.
We looked after that, and then I think it was me who bought the clay, got it to the house. I don't know if I figured out the
You
clay
bought
stuff,
a
but
few
I bought
bricks of it.
bricks of clay.
Which, and then we knew that we had to get
We
it
needed
into a
to
fine
make it
powder.
a fine powder so that we could put it in water, in warm water,
And then it could
and
become
use it
the
as
goo that I
right.
would put on myself.
This is another
So-
microcosm example of us reinventing the wheel to roll it down.
Oh yeah.
For no fucking
We'll get to
reason.
that.
Go
But
on.
how did we grind it down? We had these bricks of clay, fucking bricks.
And
Bricks of clay,
He,
yeah.
Like yes.
Hard, not
Yes,
soft.
nope.
Like it was fucking. You had to.
It
we
was
could
a
call,
brick.
We could saw through it,
Yes.
but literally with a hacksaw.
It was like just
Yes.
a big
a
boots
stone block or something.
shoebox.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah.
clay. Yeah.
So we would cut off pieces at a time, take it out back because you needed ventilation because it was
Because
dusty.
it was toxic
Don't
or
breathe
whatever.
those.
And we would put it in. We basically mortar and pestle.
We had a few mortar and pestles. We
And
also
we-
had an ice shaver.
Yes.
That would make
Yes.
ice shavings, and we were jamming the clay in it. That ice shaver's probably
I'm
destroyed.
trying to
gone,
share
yeah.
some of these images of us sitting on your back
Yeah.
porch with the
Grinding with
yeah.
mortars and pestles.
And we spent weeks doing that, like
Yeah.
yeah.
days
we
and
would
days
come over,
and
we'd all
days.
get food, we'd hang out, we'd
We
just
would
sit on the fucking back
sometimes
porch.
film something, do a whole night's of work and be like, all right, we got more to do.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it
and we
was like,
always had to
And
it was
even
like
that
working
was-
at a restaurant
was only
and
enough.
closing a restaurant,
Yes.
two different animals, and that's
Yeah.
what we were doing.
We didn't even have enough to do it more than once, really, either.
No,
we did
we
not
ended
have
up-
any extra.
We ended up with just enough.
Yep.
So first we did a couple tests.
Yep.
We did one test day,
test. Yep.
which was,
Was
I
it
went out
summertime?
into your front lawn,
Yes.
and it was summer, and that's why it was summer, and I was like, we got
This is great, yeah.
This is easy.
The
But it took
hubris.
us so fucking long to
Yes.
film that it was winter, and I was like, as it was getting closer, I'm like, oh boy,
Yeah.
But we did one
And
where we stood outside, we covered me in the
Yep.
clay in my boxers again. Just to test,
Yep.
and then I crawled around on your front lawn for a while and killed
Hey, we
Daniel.
have video
across
of
the
that, yeah.
street.
Dragged Daniel's body to make it look like I killed some random guy.
Oh, as brief aside, for a lot of the one-off bodies you see, they're recycled players.
Obviously.
Well, no, not obviously.
Idiots.
Because people are like, who played Linny? Jesse played Linny.
Yeah,
And played is a very strong word
yeah.
for a body.
We used everybody over and over again.
Right.
For
We had
legs
a
and
lot of
bodies
help
and
from a
stuff.
lot of people, but it
Yep.
was a lot of the time down to us when
Yes.
it came to crunch time, and the people who were available to help us, we were that much more thankful for, because
Yes.
it was a lot of flying by the seat of our pants sometimes. It was
Yep.
just like, we need bodies,
Yep.
sometimes literally,
Yep.
and she
Yep.
was there, so that was convenient. But
Yep.
Daniel was here,
Yep.
obviously.
And it
so
wasn't.
Daniel
But
was the
you
body.
guys did figure out that it was Daniel's body, but that
Wow.
wasn't Daniel. Obviously, that was.
But it
Oh,
was
he
just
did, was he
Daniel.
wearing the same
He was
shorts
wearing
or something?
shorts,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was Daniel pretending to be a dead.
different
but
body.
either
But
way,
anyway,
Besides the point.
so
sorry.
what we've got here is we've got a timeline of over a year of setup and testing and film testing and retesting and driving 2.5 hours to the Poconos and breaking glass to make it look like a window was broken and leading Evan out into the wilderness and painting over his eyeballs. That was the most difficult
and then
for everybody.
now think about
All
this.
equally, we all equally had the same amount of pain for that film shoot.
Mostly me, though, because I got
Oh.
blood on my hands.
Oh, you had to
That's
do the air
true.
horn.
I had to do the air
That
horn.
was
I was
loud.
very sensitive
That
ears.
was hard
loud.
to do, huh?
Yeah.
So, and then to make this all better, after we had spent months and months grinding this clay,
Yes.
God,
God,
I don't know
no.
what else.
Vinny discovered that
I don't
in
know
his
what he's
haste,
doing.
he had bought 2 bricks. If he had just scrolled down, he would have found that you could actually buy it
dust.
in a fine powder
Yeah,
form.
fine powder.
Now that this all is like liquidized, like putty now
Yeah.
too. So when I say we reinvented the wheel just to
Yes.
throw out the wheel,
I forgot about that.
We
Because-
have done that so many
Because
Although
Vinny
to
said,
be
I got the clay, and it was 2 huge bricks.
To be fair, maybe they decided they saw our videos and were like, maybe we should make a fine powder.
Maybe that's what they
and then they
did.
put it on there.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's
that's
what
how
they
it
did.
happened.
Who's
maybe
to
that's
say?
how it
I'm
happened.
not to say. I don't work for that website. Next question, please.
I'm gonna absolve myself of this. That's funny how that came to be. What actor was the rake?
Me.
That guy.
It was me.
Evan, yep.
Where's the proof? I believe we have photos of me getting covered
Oh
in
yeah,
clay.
no, that will be.
Sure did.
I mean, that could definitely be its own mini.
Did
doc.
you want to like edit one onto here?
no,
as we said,
no.
just
Save
one-
it. Do they know about the mini docs? They
We
do.
talked about that
Yeah.
a little bit.
That would be a good mini doc.
The making of the
Yeah,
rake.
absolutely.
Yeah. Don't
We
put
could-
anything up
we
here.
could try to do it again, just for
No.
when the what?
In
yeah.
winter?
No, when
Yeah.
it's warmer.
No, now.
Oh, maybe.
No,
yeah.
let's go to the
Yeah.
Poconos right now.
Okay.
No. Please God, no.
We still have the house.
Okay, here's a good one, asked by Koopzer.
Yeah.
What happened to the baby?
Was eaten.
There was no baby. It was a towel.
Oh no! Oh, the actor.
The baby?
The baby towel was an actor.
There was no baby. I was just
The
holding
baby
a towel.
towel
with
was
blood
not
all
a
over my
baby.
hands. What happened to the baby in game was I ate it.
Yeah.
Habit
No,
ate it.
I'm not
Made
sure if
Evan
this
eat
is.
his own baby.
If this isn't a shit post, then I apologize, but I think it was a funny question.
It sounds like a shit post. Good
I-
job, Jeff.
Half of
Jeff,
these
Way to
are shit posts.
fucking
Half
filter
of these
them.
are shit posts. We got 140 responses.
You're not a very
to those
good
first two.
moderator.
I'm a great moderator.
Do you
Give
guys see the
birth.
chat though and how fucking stoked they
It's
are right now?
crazy.
It's
Oh,
crazy.
thanks
Let
for
me
the
pull it up.
donation. Remember, 30,000 of your friends.
Got 30,000.
Yeah. Did anybody at all listen to my call?
What?
to
Wait,
action?
what's that? What's that? Do you guys hear them?
You can't. That doesn't.
Oh
even
my
make
goodness!
sense. This isn't live.
The patrons. They're so
It is
great.
live. Don't believe him.
Join patron. Patron.
What time is it, Evan? On the stream.
Pizza time.
It's pizza time. You stupid bitch.
I fucking hate you.
All right. Next question, please.
All right. The squared tweet asks, "What did your show Bible look like for this project?"
My shoe Bible?
Show Bible. Did I say shoe Bible?
You said show Bible.
Show Bible. Fuck you. I mean, I guess they elaborate. Did you try to catalog all the times you changed clothes in case you had to do reshoots, or was it kind of a flying by the seat of our pants
okay.
mentality?
Flying by the seat of the pants.
You know what? I will
We
say,
definitely grew up.
continuity-wise, we definitely at least most of the time looked at the video and were like, all right, do you have these pants? Yes, no, yes,
Yeah.
no. And then if we didn't, we were just like, fuck it. And we
There
just wore
was-
different pants.
There is one time I think we fucked up. Otherwise,
Yeah. Continuity,
pretty good.
we were
I
pretty
would-
good about continuity.
I would call it fly by the seat of my pants for me because you guys were the editors. I didn't edit any
That's
of
true.
this. I didn't touch the editing at all. So
That's
whenever I was coming to a scene, I'd be like, what do I
That
have
is true.
in the episode?
No,
Just tell me what to bring
I
and I'll
think
bring
we
it.
were always generally
Yeah.
pretty organized. I think there was a lot of growing.
A lot of us
pains.
wore the same
Yes.
clothes too. Like I wore
There was that.
the
too.
same.
We were
I just wore jeans
college
and
kids at first.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
all had the same cartoon character outfit for
Basically.
the first 2
Yeah.
years.
But yeah, we did have a running list of continuity between if we like left a shoot without finishing what we needed, we kind of took note. We had all the plot points on Google
In
Docs.
terms of, and that was kind of interesting
Yeah.
though with the whole show Bible idea. I like that term actually.
I don't.
That purple notebook, the marble notebook with the purple tape on it,
Yeah.
that we've used a few times on
That
camera.
would be it.
Yeah.
That was actually our outline.
That was our
very early
literal.
on.
That was our literal show Bible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then as the years went on, and we no longer lived under the same roof
Yeah.
after a certain point, we started using Google Drive a lot.
Yeah, we
and I think
digitized.
there was probably like 100 unique pages of notes towards the end,
Yeah.
especially with organizing the shots actually
Yeah.
for Cropsy, for Finding Fairmount,
Yeah.
for all the audio work we did
Oh,
for the
Jesus.
Princeton tapes,
Yep.
which we will also
The
have a
ARG
mini doc
aspects.
working with Tim Sutton, who was a champ to work with the whole Princeton tapes, and using those
Damn, we had
scripts.
Tim Sutton.
Fucking nerd.
I didn't know who that was.
Um, but yeah, no, we have. Maybe we'll release that one
Tribe
as
12,
a bonus.
I have
we
a,
should
I have a
too.
bunch of notebooks scattered all
Yeah,
over the
Yeah.
place.
no,
that
and
are full
I'm
of
in no
VMA
rush
stuff.
to, but it is. At some point, we do have an idea of compiling some text and whatnot, and I think looking
Maybe,
back through those outlines.
Maybe selling it off for a little scratch.
There's that
Little
money.
scratch.
Daddy needs a new pair of shoes. You know what I'm saying?
Those
huh?
look pretty new.
Give me that
Those look
scratch.
pretty new. You
Don't look at my new shoes.
They're like brand new.
Yeah, but I have an addiction. I need more new shoes continuously.
Yes, the
Look at the
show
bottom of
Bible
these. Go-
grew
They're
from a
brand-
notebook
I'm sorry, what?
into online note taking.
Yes.
Really.
Yes, and
And-
it covered everything.
Yeah.
It covered backstory, covered connections to ARG,
Backstory,
covered
connection.
continuity, covered
Okay.
shot
I mean,
lists.
if you take
Shot
any
lists.
video,
Jaha. Say it, Jaha.
Jaha.
There you go.
any video or any like element of the story, there are notes somewhere
Yes.
where whoever came up with it came up with it. There are stories somewhere of just free writing, like ideas we had to scrap. I don't know. It's out there. It's very not compiled, but it exists somewhere.
Yes.
That garbage. That garbage candle.
That's a good candle. It's wonderful.
It smells really good.
Kind of a super open-ended question. Late Night Devils asks, is there anything you wish you could have added?
Yes. More
Chainsaw.
chainsaw, more bodies, more blood, more
Robert
guts, and more
Englund.
gore. And Robert Englund. Oh my God, I forgot about
There is
that.
actually
We wrote to him.
We got,
We
a,
wanted
we got
him-
a polite response.
We
back
wanted
from
him
the
to
man.
be
Well,
Dr. Cornthal. in the very,
Kendrill's
very
Online
beginning.
also asked, how did Evan's dad get casted as Dr. Cornthal?
Oh,
so
okay.
segue this.
All right, so what were we watching? Was it when I was watching all the Freddy movies?
Probably.
All right, and I was like,
I can only
movies-
imagine.
I'm sure.
Freddie movies and Leslie Vernon.
Sure. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, and we had the idea to reach out to Robert Englund's management team or
Mhm,
agency
his
or
agency
whatever
or
it was,
Mhm.
Drist something, whatever. And we were like, fuck it, we'll try it. Because, like, what's the worst that can happen?
He
He
said
says
no.
no, and he said no.
And he said no.
Long
but,
story short, he said no.
But it was very polite.
It was very polite.
Well,
But,
there's a
but-
shitpost out there on Tumblr that says, I think it's like the guy Darth Vader, Robert Englund declined. Tommy was so ? At you casting Corinthal.
Yeah.
It's like because before we had your dad on screen, it was like just shitpost, speak it into existence.
Yep.
But, yeah, no.
Now, how did we end
did
up with
we?
your dad? Were we just like, do you want to?
So
We needed an older gentleman who was older than us. He wasn't older.
I
he was very
asked-
chiseled and handsome.
So I asked my dad when we were talking about Corinthal.
Yeah.
We actually
I believe
discussed this for a while.
didn't we
were
use a
trying-
picture of him already?
I don't think so.
No, okay, that came later. But
Yeah.
I believe you guys just said, "Would your dad be interested?" And then I went and asked him, and he was like, "Sure, bud."
At
What
a
do you
certain
need?
point, I
What do
think
you want?
that's probably what it came down
Yeah.
to, just
Now,
exhausting our options.
the thing about it is, sure, we decided, okay, let's give Evan's dad a chance, but I think how he got really casted is when before he even showed up to film, was making decisions for his character. Before he even looked at
Yes.
any script, he was at home with
No
me,
idea
and
what
we
the
were getting
story's
ready
about.
to go. No idea. And he goes, "Should I wear some like big nice boots?" And I'm like, I don't even think we're gonna see your legs. He goes, I think I'm gonna wear my shit kicking boots. I'm like, why are you? And you guys know that's what I call my like
Yes,
big hiking
yes,
boots, my
yes.
shit kicking boots. And he goes, I'm wearing my big shit kicking boots. I was like, oh, all right, man, sure. And he goes, hey, I want a leather jacket. I'm like, Dad, you don't need a fucking leather jacket. And he's like, I'm gonna get it. Like I couldn't stop him.
Getting him on for a little mini doc would be
Yeah,
fun.
no, that'd be
Now
fun.
I do believe his first. I would love that. I do believe his first scene was the storage unit, wasn't it?
Yes, because it was very brief, and he was in the suit where just wear
And
business.
Yes.
because he came from work, I'm pretty sure, and he just was wearing what he wears to work,
Mhm.
and so he was in his businessman outfit because he's a businessman.
Yeah.
And then
I know.
afterwards, we were like, "Well, that was great. Let's have him on." And then he started off with the whole leather jacket
Yeah.
scar,
It
and
worked
we
though
fucking
because
loved
of the
it.
change of
Of the character,
normal
character,
doctor
right.
to
Right.
I'm fighting
Right.
demons.
Yeah,
Yes.
he became a fucking
Yeah.
Terminator. But like that, we could talk about that more another
Oh,
time. but
totally.
The,
No, I
the
think that's-
story of my
that's a
dad
great
as Dr.
mini doc.
As
Corinthal
with
is,
Oh,
I think,
many
and
things in
let me-
EMH, it was of necessity, and
Yes.
we made it work.
Also, let me
Yeah.
backtrack just a little bit. We weren't expecting Robert Englund, to come down here and be Evan's dad's role. At that point, we had reserved it to. We were like, okay, well, if we can get him to do a few webcam videos.
Yes,
or,
it was going
right.
to be like ARG.
So we were not trying to
Yeah.
fly this man out here. We were not trying to fly Freddy Krueger out here to hang around in our house with us. We were like a couple videos maybe. Corinthal
that would've been
took a
so
whole
cool.
different turn. Corinthal really, once we had access to the actor and we realized it was Evan's dad who was fucking great as Corinthal.
It got very
picked up.
fun
Yeah.
and
Some of the
interesting,
themes that we used much later on, like when Vinny's watching his own death on the projector, that sort of interaction, I think, is what we would have, if we could have used someone like Robert Englund,
Yes.
it would have been that sort
That sort of
of,
stuff. Yep.
Something
there's
like
a
that.
wall between the characters, but they're still communicating.
That's literally-
some sort
yep.
of like,
Very
what we
different.
call
What was-
snuff.
What was the question right before we got on Dr. Corinthal? What was something you would have seen more
You
of?
wish you could have added.
Yeah.
What's something you wish you could have added?
Oh shit, I forgot that.
Besides Robert Englund.
No, you know what? I'm glad that we didn't, honestly, because I like the way that Corinthal ended up. So fuck
I
you.
would have liked that.
Is he listening? Whatever. If you're on the chat, just drop us a line.
We'll see, you
Um,
see it. I'll watch.
Okay, thanks. What would I have added?
So do you think our computer is just
No.
this giant wall unit? Is that
No,
why
it's
you're
this.
looking that way?
What giant wall unit are you talking
Yeah,
about,
this.
Jeff? It's our fucking computer. It's
It's
sitting right there on the
what
table.
would I add to EMH?
Prove it.
How it ends by Devachka.
Yeah.
No, okay.
Yes!
So for me, you know what I honestly would have added? I really liked
What?
that idea, the original ending idea, the live stream, which was way too complicated. Way too fucking complicated. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do remember that. I wrote a lot of it.
Not- right,
Wait,
no,
you
I
mean
know.
the one that I had where you're writing and the world's
Yes.
dying around you?
Yes. I really, really
Yeah.
liked that. I would have really liked to have.
It was next to impossible. And
Oh.
when I brought it to
Totally.
you, I remember saying this is almost this would
Yes.
probably be impossible to do, but I love
Yes.
the concept.
Well, so what I'm thinking is, I was thinking even before that, I forgot that was also an iteration. I was thinking when we were just hanging out.
An iteration.
An iteration. Because remember, my obsession was always the live stream, doing it live.
I kill you on live stream. Was that it?
Right.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yes. And then we
I
turned
don't
it
I
into.
beat you to death.
Yes.
So that it was easy.
And then
it
I
could
started
be-
stabbing you, and then we kill each other, and Slenderman like poofs out of the world.
The only problem would have been trying to get to the blood, because I remember if I was punching you, it could be as easy as you having a blood-filled sponge next to you. So I'm going into the sponge, and it's spurting, it's splapping, it's whapping and bapping.
I would have
and then
loved to have done
that. Would have been, and especially if you stabbed me in the side,
which we were trying, but
and like I could have blood in my mouth and start spitting it on you.
so basically we had to cut.
Oh my God! Fuck! And then the fucking Slenderman pulling your ass off camera.
Yes.
I remember that. I remember that shit.
That was it. Not that I wanted
Yes.
Not that exact ending had to happen, but I really like the idea of doing it live.
I fucking remember
that
that.
would've been
Yeah,
wild.
it was us. We were like, and they knew.
Yes, they knew. I can't remember why they.
And
knew
then you were gonna be no. And then you were gonna like get up or something, because you got me in the end because he helped you.
Sort
and
of, I
haven't
remember
left.
this, yes.
It was the same sort of
the same
situation.
Yes.
It's just in a different way.
It was,
Yes.
That whole scene we took pieces of. Like when Vinny's freaking out with the spy cams and Slenderman's in the corner, we used that drag away at one point.
And then he came back with that other thing, with the fucking boop bop boop. We'll save all that. Your story, your end game. And I was like, we could still do it live, but pre-record it and show it live, and they'll be like, what the fuck?
Would you guys ever want to do alternate endings, or no? Because
we could
technically
come back
it's an
in
infinite
15
loop.
years.
We
So
do have a handful of alternate takes that we will be sharing on this channel.
Yes.
But
alternate
in terms
endings.
of alternate endings, that's something.
I'll tell you what. If we ever
Let's
make a
consider.
DVD,
A DVD.
a DVD or something, and then we can sell it for that scratch for Pappy to get his new shoes, because Pappy needs his shoes. 30,000 of your.
And that's all we didn't ask for
30,000 of
much.
your friends.
We didn't ask for much. 30,000 friends.
well-
Jeff, how many friends do you have, roughly?
At least 29,000.
Okay, at least 29,000.
See, Jeff can't do it.
Jeff can't do
I
it
need
alone.
your help. But
If we hit 30,000, you
Give
can
us-
watch us fight over a plaque.
Give these
That would be
three
the
Pappies
ending
your
we deserve.
scratch. We Pappies desire and need your scratch.
I know something.
30,000
you
subs get
wanted
us
in the
30,000
series
scratch.
Was something that we
Alternate
really
endings.
made work in terms of what we had to work with.
Blood
the
and
whole
death.
the blood and death thing.
That's
the
what I
whole Leave It to Daniel episode, that 3-part episode.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be just a pure habit murder fest, and we reached a point that we couldn't arrange
Bodies.
doubles. We couldn't arrange the effects. So instead of making this, we called it for the longest time. If you look at the files on our hard drive now, the whole project.
Please don't look at the files.
Sub-project was nicknamed Natural Born Killers.
Yes.
Because it was supposed to be in that whole.
It was
goofy,
he cleans out everybody.
Yes.
That was the.
It was supposed
him.
to be all loose ends.
Yes.
And that's why Daniel ended up being the focal point, because he was in that regard. It was supposed to be Habit's Day on the town, painting it red, literally.
Yeah.
But then we had to make it work, and I think I'm really happy with the Leave It to Daniel scene, but it came to be from this idea that we just couldn't reach to its full
That-
which happened a lot.
That was one of the. I think that, not because of all the shit that we had to do, but that was probably one of the most difficult ones to film. I remember I directed the one where we did it in my house, and then we did it out. It was outside your house, the front of your house, and then we actually did the scenes in my house where I killed Daniel at my kitchen table. Alex
that
walking
was
upstairs.
a lot of work.
So I remember directing a lot of that, and it was a huge. It was everybody was great, but it was still just so much because there were so many people doing things, and I was like, all right, you're gonna be sitting there snipping scissors. You're gonna be over here, Dylan. I need you to dribble that shit on your chin, and it was like it all had to come together so that when we came through, it still looked good.
I think
that was a
the
challenging
proxy
one.
zombies there were me, Dylan, Austin, Alex, I think his girlfriend.
Yeah, Bree was there. She was the
and
one snipping
I think
scissors.
Andrew Rogers. Also
Andrew Rogers was there. I
Wow.
believe Andrew Rogers was the one whose neck I snapped in the beginning while walking in, because the place was getting swarmed by zombies. So that's what it turned into.
Yeah. So let's do a few more and.
Because Habit's actually a good person and was the angel of mercy.
He saved
Didn't want Daniel to be stuck in the time loop.
I mean,
He wanted to
Habit's
save
really a good
Daniel.
guy if you think about it.
Yeah, he is. He's a. You can really humanize him, and
You could.
I dare I say romanticize him.
he
I
ate
do.
the baby. Our
He's
friend
romance.
It's
Random
more than the
Bread.
baby.
This
It
is a
is
quick
official.
technical issue. question. In all good things, there's a bit where it shows older footage from Jokes Over, and the quality is noticeably better than the original upload. This happens in Cops Check No Body and Finding Fairmount as well.
Yeah.
Is there any story reason behind this, or is it just a technical
Wow.
thing?
Absolutely, it's
The
a
story
reason.
is
Let me tell
so
you why.
important.
No.
We fucked up.
Yeah,
was
we weren't
because
good.
It was basically we didn't know what we were
Yeah.
how
None of us-
to
so
manipulate.
No.
None of us
color.
were into film before this.
Well,
and
that's
I
not true. That's not true. I did do film stuff in high
This
school.
fucking guy.
Well,
But
even still, we were
none of us-
using lower level technology.
Right.
We didn't know how to format everything properly
Yes.
to work
Well,
with.
here's the deal. We were using this, literally, one of these.
Yeah.
We were using a flip.
Which we're great, by the way. I love
No,
those
great.
things.
No,
They were
no.
pretty cool.
But our issue
we
was
didn't know how to clean up
right.
the footage.
Nobody knew how to use. Nobody had done any digital film projects before. Nobody had done any film projects. Period. Before we were using Movie Maker because we
we were
couldn't
literally
afford.
the first ones on the planet to do it.
Of course.
to
we
ever make a video.
created
project.
YouTube,
Remember making it.
but
Ever.
us
Ever.
three obviously have never made a project before. So what ended up happening was we used the flip. It films in widescreen. We were editing as if it was not
Square.
widescreen, and everything was like degraded. And we exported. No, my God!
Well,
Before we even
that's-
exported, we converted from one file type to another to make it work in Movie Maker.
And that's what we
and
were saying last time. Like
it's chaos.
we knew what we wanted to do. It was learning the language of the
Right.
video editing that we was a running process. Like you
Yes.
said, you're learning to walk when we were running down a hill.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so those differences in color and quality, it's honestly kind of surprising that we could pull it back from how old the footage is and make it cleaner. But that was really just us not knowing how to bring out its best
Right.
export quality or color
Yeah,
correction.
because
or
like
that-
Evan said,
from that time.
these were not bad. These were really, really good for the time, especially. We just weren't editing properly because we
To-
didn't have the knowledge.
To a certain
Well,
extent, though.
I was editing properly. You guys weren't editing.
To a certain extent, though, I think it kind of adds for
je
certain
ne sais
scenes.
quoi.
No, for certain scenes and like
What? There's something
that are
Yeah,
like
it's
important
ideas, yeah.
looking back on. I think it's kind of cool because it's that like uncanny almost. Like I know, like I have a vivid memory of this scene in super splashed, washed out color, and here I am seeing the same footage
Mhm.
years later. And it's clean. Like it was like they were lied to
Yeah.
for 8 years, and it's like here's the normal
They were.
lack of art. What happened? They just found a dead body.
We lied to you.
We lied to you
For
for
8
8 years.
Yeah, so really
Cut.
a technical issue.
I mean, they never see us again.
For the quality, it was a technical issue, but
Yeah.
for the differences in color and whatnot, it was thematic.
Yeah.
But yeah, mostly just us learning as we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess
Tie
two
your shoe.
more.
It's not untied.
What's that?
Okay.
I untied
Evan's
it.
trying to convince me to untie my shoe, but he
I did untie your shoe.
Okay, whatever.
It's very untied.
So I guess Vinny, what video for you was the most fun to edit?
All right. So for me, it was 34 whatever 4309.
70s, 78, 76?
Well,
Oh, I'm sorry.
no, the apartment. The apartment.
Apartment. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yes. So that one was fun to edit because
Oh.
there was a lot of stuff
13,
going on. I don't remember what it was called. Whatever.
Yeah.
40,
Is that where you're
30,
logging
34.
yourself?
The apartment video.
Yes, the one where you brought your friends over and they were like the zombies
You
and
killed
remember
them
all
and
that shit. And
it
you were
was snow.
yes, the whole 3 part of that was really cool for me because
Was that also the Christmas?
sort of that was
Where I go,
in
"Merry
there.
Christmas."
That was
It was
like the
in there.
end of the second.
Yeah.
Act.
Okay, gotcha.
End of Act 2.
But same apartment, so yes, like same thing. But that was really cool for me to edit because that was pretty much me. That was all.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
shot most of it. I edited most of it, and I was really nervous to
Yep.
show you guys because I was like,
Because
"Fuck,
it was terrible.
it was totally different.
Very
it was
good.
very
It
different
was
than
very
what,
good.
what we did. But this guy who's saying it was very bad was like, holy shit, this could be its own series. Like this could be a totally different thing. So I was really happy to like sit down because that was for the first time in editing that I didn't have either of you to be like, what do we think about this? I just brought it to you
Yeah.
as a finished product, so there was no input. And I was like, fuck, it's so weird to edit by yourself because you look at it 950 times and you're like, yeah, this makes sense, but only because you know the full context of it, you know? So to just do it by myself and then go here and not have anybody's input, I was like,
Well, I think they came out
That's
good. I don't know what
fucking
Jeff
crazy.
was saying. I think they came
I
out
didn't say
pretty
No, no,
anything.
They
Jeff-
could have been their own ARG.
He shits
This
on it a lot.
fucking guy. Tie your shoes.
so yeah, that was not on time.
All right.
They can't see.
I think for me,
Where we at?
it's probably Finding Fairmount just because of how massive it was.
Oh, God.
And I personally think we were like at the top of our game
Yeah.
towards this point. So Finding Fairmount, or yeah, probably just because it was us having a shot list that we
Yeah.
had to do, us
Yeah.
being in a cool place,
Yes.
and having that all fall together, us all three of us working on it.
Yes.
I think that was kind of just. I think it's probably one of the better videos, but even if it's not objectively the best, I think it was just a good example of everything working for once.
Can I say what my least favorite editing?
Go for it.
The tapes, the Princeton tapes. Fuck 'em.
Well,
Go ahead.
Why?
making the Princeton tapes was probably one of the more fun parts of the project.
No.
Recording
No.
it to
Remaking the Princeton tapes
Remaking
was
it.
one of the best things.
No, you're right.
The Princeton tapes were totally different, and I
There exists an alternate cut of
Somewhere.
of the entire Princeton tapes
Somewhere.
floating around in the Midwest.
yeah, and that was a pain in the ass to record and get ready, and to ship, and then redoing it was a blast because that was Tim Sutton, that was me and you, that was a lot of fun. But yeah, no,
Us playing D&D, talking about Michael Dukakis.
Yes.
Who the fuck's Michael Dukakis?
right, exactly. Yeah, so fuck that. Next,
Is that a porn star?
could be.
Michael Dukakis.
He's the president. He was the 27th president of the United States of America.
Neither of you would have the capability to play D&D by yourselves. Not at all.
I would-
Just the two of you? Do you think you could really handle
You
it?
were there.
What are you talking
D&D.
about?
You were there,
Why
you
the fuck
fuck.
would I want to...
What are you talking
You were
about?
there.
Jesus Christ, I was not joking. The three of us sat in my basement. Remember, you were the elf that wanted to bang Vinny or something?
Yeah.
We were from the 80s.
That happened.
We were all druggies. Jesus Christ, you don't
get
remember this.
Pac-Man, Mario, whatever the fuck, right? You're still about Mario?
Do you honestly not remember this?
He's being a dick. Good on the
You
next
have to
question.
be. I do not want you driving home if you do not remember this.
What
can
is?
sleep in
What are
his
you
house.
talking about?
Just-
D&D
Just go.
that
Just
we
go.
played?
Next question.
No. What the fuck
No,
are
it
you
was
talking
fake
about?
D&D.
We faked a quick session of D&D.
Pause.
Hello?
They're coming.
Hey!
Hey,
Be
what's up?
quiet, so
There you go.
No,
How's it
that's
going?
all
I
right.
heard you were filming.
Run.
We are. We are doing
Quick.
a Q&A.
Yes.
It's a little loud up
Yes.
Is
we
it?
can't really
there.
hear it
I'll
though.
tell you- I can
We're
tell
almost done.
Yeah,
Quiet.
they're fighting the dogs. It
I hear
sounds
them.
like.
Yep.
But
Do you really not remember?
Sweet.
I don't know what the fuck
We
you're
were sitting in my
talking
basement at my parents' house.
No, so I think you're phrasing it wrong because we weren't actually playing
It
D&D.
wasn't an actual
It was
sit-down
fake.
D&D.
We were talking
Anybody
into the
want a drink?
microphone.
No, thank
A
you.
Oh,
water
good.
would be good.
Water?
Yeah, please.
Just a water?
Just the water.
Just him.
Yeah, no, it was strictly for filming.
Really?
So we didn't actually play D&D.
Good lord.
But remember you were telling the story about how you had heroin in the back of your car and the cop pulled you over and you were talking about video games.
Oh, this was for the recording.
Yes.
This was for the
Thank you.
Take it easy. This was
Yeah.
for the fucking audio.
Mhm.
It was just for the audio.
You
Is
got
that
it. That's the one.
What have we been discussing for like 5 minutes now?
I don't remember being a part of it until just. I think I remember that we were talking about Mario.
Yes.
We were talking about like, oh, it just came out.
Yes.
Mario.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
I do remember.
It's all that.
I do remember.
And
We
we're
are going
back.
to take him to a neurologist
Jeff was
tomorrow.
wrong.
Jeff was kind of wrong. He said D&D a bunch of times.
Yeah, he's a fucking idiot. He doesn't
So
even know
what was even the
D&D is.
question? What were we even talking
It was
about?
the editing.
Next question.
It was editing. And I said that we
Next
said what we liked. I
question.
said what I didn't like.
The Morse code videos were a lot of fun to edit too, because that was just complete clown shoes.
Yeah.
Let's splice it in Animal Collective. Have fun with it. Anyway,
Animal Collective clown shoes.
did you guys have Jeffrey Valentini, number 5, asks, did you guys have different roles in the beginning? And if not, which one would you have liked to experience? I think I screwed up the copy and paste on the second part, but this is a good question in itself.
So, if you don't mind, I want to start this one real quick. We weren't supposed to have different roles, but I think that our roles got greatly personified as we kind of moved along in our story. Yeah. So, like, Evan was always supposed to be Evan. We just made him worse and worse, and then Habit took over, and it was like the worst of Evan. Right.
Our own monster.
Right. And then Vinny started as Vinny, and then got worse and worse and worse and worse and more helpless and helpless, but also worse and worse and worse, until he was his worst Vinny. Jeff
died. The reason that
Jeff
he died.
didn't. Right. Jeff couldn't fulfill his potential of Jeffism.
That was the point.
Right. No,
They
that's-
needed.
that's
They
what I'm
needed to
saying.
kill him.
Right.
They needed to kill him right away.
Right.
Because he was a problem and
Right.
could have.
So I don't think
him like Cornthal.
Right. And my character was always.
I think that's interesting. You guys are taking that literally as the canon question
Yeah.
of these characters having different.
Yeah.
different
What do
roles.
we? What do you?
I'm
what were you
thinking about like.
The actors.
Yeah, I'm thinking
Oh.
like in Vinny. Did you want to be the slasher at any point?
Not in this one now.
Yeah.
I would like to at some point. I would like to play that role. I mean, You know, we did sort
I
of
would
play
like
around
to, I
with
would like
those
to
roles.
switch around with different.
We have, to an extent.
That's true.
With the shotgun video, the canon video.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I mean,
That's
yeah,
stuff.
there's only so much. I mean, we can't completely turn it on its head
Right.
in the story, but we could definitely play around out of scene,
Yeah,
or
but,
just one.
but as far as this story is concerned, I never wanted to play it. I liked the role that I played.
No,
I liked
Same.
the role that you played.
I think they developed as
Yeah.
is because of who we are
Right.
as creators and as friends. So I think
Kind of like what you said, the worst versions of ourselves were what we all were
Yep.
at the end, except you got murdered.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I think
Well,
I think
even
a
still
lot of
though
it-
that was true because like I was completely oblivious to my brother getting hurt and shit.
Right.
So it's
Yeah.
like, it is.
Yeah.
It was the worst of ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was, I think, so no, I don't think I would have, if it's just me, I wouldn't have wanted to play something else because when that came into play, it was almost like therapeutic.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Where it's like, this project took on, the characters that we played, the roles that we played, were more than just the characters that we created. As we said before, we put so much of ourselves into these characters because that was just easy and natural for us.
Yeah.
Hence, we didn't really need to use a lot of script, hence it kind of came off natural, like we're all hanging out. Because we all do hang out. We like each other. We like each other.
Yeah.
But but when it comes to the actual characters, I don't think would I like to be able to play a good guy at some point? Absolutely. Would I like to play a victim at some point that gets his head ripped off by a monster? You bet. That sounds like fun. Would I like to play the complete pussy who's scared of everything? Yes. That sounds like a lot of fucking fun, and that's how I get my jollies off of the RPG stuff. All the D&Ds and shit.
Right.
But when it came to this specific project, no, at one point I wanted to be the killer because I was like, I think that'll be fun. I call being the killer, But as it went on, I was like, this is really fucking. I really like this, and especially like you're saying, we put a lot of ourselves into
Yes.
it. We put a lot of ourselves into those ending when we were our bad guys at the end. Like, I know for a fact a lot of the shit that you had Vinny say and do
Yes.
came from you.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of the shit that I had
Yep.
Habit and Evan say and do
Yep.
came from me.
Well, and
that's I think why it was important for us to play
Yes.
those roles, as you kind of said, as it progressed and we slid into them.
Right.
It was like, no, I have to see this.
Yeah.
Like it was I don't know, I can't explain it.
Yeah,
I don't know
I
if that
can't.
sounds
I can't
crazy,
think
but
of it outside of the way that it was because, like you're saying, it was therapeutic in the sense that like we didn't just have the whole Vinny Habit situation happen because it was schlocky and fun. A lot of it wasn't schlocky and fun. It was Vinny being fucking miserable.
Yeah.
But it was therapeutic to have Vinny go through that because watching him progress in that way was like, this is the way that people react to being confined and being
Yeah.
in that sort of abusive relationship that's not abusive in the sense that Habit's like ripping his arms off at that point.
Didn't need
Habit's
to.
just
He's just ruining his life.
domestic violencing Vinny, and it's like,
Yeah.
You know what's funny
It's
though
just
about
cool.
well,
I
not
thought it was a
funny,
great-
but interesting about
Jeff says domestic abuse.
no, all three of us
Can you believe
saying that we fell into we established these roles kinda and let it run for
Yep.
8 years. We've had people who are working on us, in smaller parts, wanting their input or wanting their influence, and us being like, no, like rejecting that wholly. It's like this is how we set up our stories,
Yep.
and like not even like as a negative aspect. My brother, I know, he wanted to we gave him a lot of slack
Free
to
rein,
work
yeah.
with for a while, and then he started getting these ideas that like he wanted to
Yes.
make himself into some sort of like not two-faced, but like he almost deserved it, and we're like, no, we're reeling this in,
Right.
and it's like we
I'm the
had
only one who
Well,
can
do
deserve it.
remember too when it just in the same vein of your brother developing himself in the game after he was dead, and then we had me killing Daniel, or he died before Daniel.
he did, and he,
Yeah.
he
Yes.
came back,
And then
as
he
a
came back,
proxy.
and you remember he wanted to be a proxy so bad.
Mhm.
Even when we were discussing possible things in the sanctuary, he
Yes.
was like I could be one with like a fucking recurve bow just hunting you. Like he liked that because
Yes.
he was like, oh my god, that
He
sounds like
wanted
so much
it
fun.
so bad.
And that's
that
him,
was
him walking
his
down with two
taste,
knives.
kind of
Yeah.
For the
fighting
film.
with
Right.
what we had set up in the
Right.
story.
Yeah.
And it's like obviously we didn't show that stuff because that's not the story we wanted to tell.
But that would have been his
yeah.
his essentially version of what we're talking
Right.
about, where I took mine and really ran with it to make it something that I think I could play easily and
Yes.
reflect upon easily. Same with you guys, and that was him developing it. It's just his character died before we could really do
Right.
anything with it. But like if we made a short story about just Alex, I think that's where he would take the character, and I think that it would be very cool because
Well-
he would be natural in
Yes,
it. You know,
and I
Yeah.
think that sort of brings it to the point that we're sort of dancing around, is we allowed each other to take the characters where we wanted. So I never felt like I was trapped in a role because I wasn't trapped in a role. If I had been like, hey guys, you know what? I kind of want Vinny to fight back a little more. We would have worked around it and made it work.
Yeah.
We would have been like, oh shit, okay, we want Vinny to go after Habit. How can we let him do that, but then also bring it back to the story? Whereas Alex and secondary characters, obviously, we had a set path for them.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we didn't want to have any other roles because we
I see
could
what you're
literally
saying.
have
Yeah.
whatever roles we wanted.
No, I'm not saying like
Yeah,
all
right.
the people we worked with are very creative and
Totally.
could make a
Yes,
story for what they're
absolutely.
doing. But for what the characters we established were, people
Right.
try to poke and prod into what the three of us made,
Right.
and it's like, sorry that we have to reject that wholesale.
No, because
for-
because
Yeah.
it's
How-
again it's really
yeah.
our story.
Yeah.
It's our story, and I think
our
we trusted trusted in each other enough to know that like we knew the confines of our story, but we still had the freedom to be able to express.
to a
what we
lesser
wanted to
extent, and this isn't. It's gonna sound like I'm just complaining about them, but I'm not.
Damn, keep
but
complaining.
even like the
Jesus.
story is over now, and still getting like attempted game jacks.
Yes.
Like, can we cross over? And like, I'm sorry, my
We're
friends
done.
are all dead. Like,
We're done.
What do you want from me?
You can't.
But that, how prevalent that was early on, and
Yeah.
even I mean, not so much now, obviously, because we're all fucking
Oh, we
dead.
still get
we
still
we
get
get
requests.
them. You know, and that's what
Which
I'm
is,
saying. It's
so
bizarre.
may I say this? We can edit this out if this is not appropriate.
Okay.
But like, guys, listen. If you want to game jack, and you're like, oh, I just want to have EMH up on the screen in the background, and it's nothing to do with the story, or oh, it's just an homage, or oh, it's just, do it. But if you're saying that we are canon with EMH, don't do it.
Don't do
Don't
it.
even ask us to do it because we're not going to let you
Don't
do
do
it.
that.
But
I
totally.
mean, by all means, proceed with it, but you're not going to get our blessing.
you're not getting our
It's
blessing.
kind of
No,
shitty.
that
And-
would be that's a dick move.
In filmmaking, it's always better to just do it and ask for permission later.
That's how we did it.
Yep. So, again, if you want to just have us up, if you want to use our audio, if you want to be like, I'm inspired by these people, if you feel free. Great. Anything else, you don't have our blessing, but if you're going to do it, you're going to do it. Sorry, go ahead. I just wanted to say that because I
It's
guess
good, like, we
I do
can't-
get so many of those.
We can't stop you. I personally would think it's a shitty thing if in somebody's video they're like, hold on, I'm talking to Jeff from Everyman Hybrid. He's
Right.
telling me what to do. I'd
Again,
be like, ew, that's weird.
Sort
Fuck
of
you.
looping back,
But-
it's not your character to do anything.
I think it's something that, I mean, granted, this isn't really something we've dealt with,
No.
so it's kind of just, we're fighting on a straw man here, but just how consistently it comes up over the
Yeah.
years, I think that's what's surprising to
And
me.
it's mostly kind-hearted stuff that does come up, like the stuff that I'm saying, the little tiny cameos, the things like that.
But
So
also,
that's why-
our
cameos,
story is
like-
protected now.
Right.
And I think that's how this sort of
'Cause
came
it's
up.
over.
It's like, yeah, no,
It's gone.
people wanting to work with us, great, cool, probably not on EMH stuff.
Right.
That's
Right.
pretty much it, right?
Yeah.
Because for one
It's
thing,
gone now.
you're
It's
gonna have to
gone.
get all three of us on board in the same, and we're like herding cats.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no way you're gonna get us to
When just us three wanted to hurt each other, it was almost
Yeah, that's just never
impossible.
happened.
herding, like corralling, not hurting.
hurting each other. was
Hurting
great.
each other.
Or hurting each other like cats.
Sorry, I brought this way. Of course. Next question.
I want to be a sheep.
No, I
Also,
think
how-
that's it.
that's
we're,
it?
we're about 10 minutes over the hour.
Cool. Oh, Jesus
Um,
Christ.
I think this went pretty well.
Yeah.
We have a lot of audio pollution. I cannot stand these two.
Yeah.
One of us is going to snap and murder the other two before the end of the year, most likely.
Probably. Oh yeah.
How
all
would
the
you guys
dogs.
kill me?
As
I don't know.
I've said and as I've said before,
Cat.
I think if
Poison.
we haven't killed each other yet, we will never
No.
get that upsetty spaghetti at each other. I don't know, maybe.
Are we gonna do more questions?
No, that's it.
We're done. Get out of here. No, I mean just in
Bye.
general. In
Well,
general.
Oh,
see,
yeah,
hey,
no,
see
this
you,
is-
chat. Go ahead and
Yes,
get 30,000. Go ahead and get 30,000.
Yeah, no,
I
I
see.
think-
That was a good joke you
no,
said.
they said they're gonna get
Look at
30
him, look at
at
it
least.
scroll up.
Oh my
what a good
god.
funny joke.
I think
This
we
is
do
great.
another, at least one or two of these before
So,
we
yes,
break down into
proper
further mini
Proper
docs and stuff.
goodbyes.
Proper
We're gonna
goodbyes?
do at least another one of these before we break it down into mini docs and behind the scenes and all that good stuff.
We might do. I might throw a poll out there on the Twitter feed for
In the chat?
Stop. But yeah, no. Thanks for listening. As always, keep adding to the Ask EMH because
What
some
is
of
the
these
hashtag?
Ask EMH,
Hashtag.
or just respond to that original
Oh yeah, the tweet.
Twitter thread. Thanks for watching.
See you later.
See you.
Oh
Oh,
no.
and stay tuned.
Oh yeah, stay tuned.
But they don't know this.
Oh, and stay tuned.
No, guys. There's no staying tuned.
Yes, there is. Don't listen to Vinny.
Vinny,
He's
go
alive.
turn it
He's the
off.
false
Stay
prophet.
tuned. Bye. Stay tuned. Vinny, go turn it off.
Jeff,
And
turn it off. My
cut.
shoes untied. I can't turn it
And
off.
wrap.
I don't want
His
to fuck
shoes
it up.
untied.
My shoes untied. I can't stand up.
Told you.
Jeff can't do this. Jeff can't do it. Jeff
Jeff
can't do it.
What
Jeff
do I
can't
do?
Idiot.
The
Fucking
red button.
idiot.
The red
It's
button.
button.